Hello everyone and welcome back to Cubrate AI. I'm Sharvari. I work as DevRel at Cubrate AI. In today's video, I'll show you how you can use QuenCoder Flash model on Cubrate AI platform for fast and efficient code generation. We'll also compare it with QuenCoder Plus and QuenCoder Next so you know exactly which model to use it for your use case. If you are a developer who is working on AI coding assistants, automation tool, or like rapid prototyping, this video is for you. So make sure that you watch till the end. So before we jump in, let me quickly explain what Kuberate AI does. So Kuberate AI is a GPU infrastructure platform that lets you run, test, and deploy open source AI models at scale without managing any GPUs by yourself. To get started, you can simply start by adding some credits to your account, and on your first top up, you'll receive some free bonus credits which are enough to run inference for up to 4 million tokens depending on the model which you are using. So once you are set up, you can start experimenting right away. So let's go ahead and log in into our account. Click on login. And if you already don't have an account, then you can go ahead and click on sign up and create a new Qgrid account for yourself. So once you log in, you will arrive at this models page. Here in models, you can see we have different use cases. The models are segregated basis on the use case. So we have text, code, image, audio, video, vision, OCR, and frontier. So for today, we are going to see coded models. So we'll go and check the models from the core use cases. We are going to see Quen Coder Flash model. So this is the complete overview on of the Flash model. You can check out the complete overview, API deployments, and some technicalities and parameters. For now, let's go ahead and try it in our playground. We again have different use cases over here: text, code, image, audio, video, vision, and OCR. And for each use case, Kubernetes recommends some suitable open source models over here. We also support proprietary models as well. You can go ahead and try those models out. But today we are going to see QuenCoder Flash model. So this model is quite fast and it is designed for some fast and light code generation. So it is quite ideal for use cases like quick prototyping where you need some autocomplete style coding or some simple to medium coding tasks. So if you want some speed or like quick iteration, you can use this model. So let's go ahead and give it some prompt. So I've added this prompt to build a simple REST API using Fast API for a to-do application. So as you can see, it is so fast that it has started giving us the output quite quickly. So it has completed also. You can see total time as well, 13.24 seconds. Then prompt tokens, completion token, TTFT, then TPS. So these parameters are useful if you are benchmarking models to production. But you can see how it has given us the output and it has given us the task over here, task ID. Then toggle task. It has given some routes over here for the REST API. So this is a fast API implementation of the function features which we have provided. So these are the uses examples which they have provided, and it has also given us how to run this application. So as you can see that the output which it has given a clean fast API structure, crude operation endpoints, and readable code. Also, it has also given a helpful comments as well, which is quite helpful when you're running these kind of code. And the key thing here is speed. So the response is generated very quickly, which makes it ideal for rapid development workflows. So let's go ahead and refine this code a bit. We'll see like add some basic error handling and input validation to this API. Let's see what it does. Hopefully the error handling code is added at the last or like in between the routed prompts. Okay, so it has added the code over here, error handler for 404, then health check endpoint, then error handler for 500 code. I think it has given us a pretty basic error handler. We were expecting a bit more, like here it has given 400, 404, 500. But yeah, it's good for like basic error handling purpose. So it has given us a really good code. It has updated the code very quickly. So this model is quite helpful when you are like doing some development task which does not have to compromise on code quality much, but like it is quite helpful when you're like auto completing task or like when you have a speed limitation. So this is about the core Quencoder Flash model. So now let's understand what is the difference between Quencoder models. So the Quencoder Flash model, which we saw right now, it is a fast code generation model and it is quite useful for quick iteration or quick prototyping. Then we have Quencoder Plus model as well, which is slightly used for slightly complex logic and it will give you more structured code and a better accuracy. So it kind of like balanced between speed and quality as well. Then we have Quencoder Next model. It is best used for the complex system, deep reasoning tasks, and large code bases. So it is the most powerful model and a bit slightly slower. So you can remember it in this way that the Quencoder Flash model is supports speed when you need a code generation without any latency. So you can use Quencoder Flash model. Then you can use Quencoder Plus model if you want some balance between like speed and the code quality. So you can use Quencoder Plus model. And if you want to like implement a model into a very complex workflow where you need a deep reasoning or a very powerful model, you can use Quencoder Next model, where it's okay to compromise on speed, whether it's not much important, where the speed is not much important to you. You can use the Quencoder Next model. So choosing this right model will help you to reduce latency and optimize cost and improve output quality. So instead of choosing one model everywhere, you can pick a right model for your right task. So this was about the Quencoder Flash model over here. If you want to do more configuration, you can click on model configs. You can see we have streaming option over here. We have temperature. We have max token option. Then we have top P. You can go ahead and tweak this option. And once you are happy with the output and you may want to integrate it into your application, you can copy the serverless endpoint over here. We support Python, Curl, JavaScript, and Go, and you can replace this placeholder with the QGrid's API key. If you want to like create a API key, you can go ahead and click on Get API Key. Here you can click on Create an API Key, enter the project name such as test. You can set an expiration date to this API key, and if you don't want it to expire, you can just uncheck it and click on Create an API Key. But make sure that you save this API key somewhere very privately and don't share it with anyone else. And this API key will be shown to you only once. And if you want to like go and explore more, you can go ahead and click on Docs. So in Docs, you can say we have model, we have Quick Start as well, where you can start by creating an account for yourself. Then we have API Quick Starts, where you can start by creating your API over here. Then we have model quick starts as well. In model quick start, we have different model based on your use cases. We have chat model, we have DeepSeek R1, then we have image model. We have these many models. We have Z image turbo model over here. So in this is an image model. As you can see, you can put this prompt and you can generate these beautiful images over here. So you can go ahead and try these models out as well in our playground. So this was it for this video, and if you ever need any help, you can join our Discord community or open a support ticket or reach out to me directly on the Discord or LinkedIn. We are always happy to help you guys. So that's it for today, and if you are building any applications like AI coding models or using these AI coding models like Quencoder Flash or like on any other model, you can always give Kubernetes AI a try and try implementing Kubernetes API into your workflows. And don't forget to like and share this video and subscribe to this channel, and let me know in the comments what are you building next. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.